Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons are commanded to keep silent on pain of imprisonment while the House of Representatives is exhibiting to the Senate of the United States an article of impeachment against Donald John Trump, former President of the United States.
This week, Brian Sicknick will lie in honor in the rotunda at the United States Capitol.
Donald John Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States.
A crucial vote that could strip controversial Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments.
The Senate will duly notify the House of Representatives when it is ready to proceed with the trial.
A week after the inauguration of President Joe Biden, the National Guard remains at the U.S. Capitol. As the new administration scrambles to pass a coronavirus relief package, impeachment struggles to get attention. The shadow of the former president still looms over Congress, and a battle is brewing in the GOP over Trump's power over the party. The trial is set to begin on February 9th.
Trump has a very long shadow. Just because he's out of office does not mean people are done talking about him. There's no way of getting out of the fact that the beginning of the Biden presidency is going to be defined by this impeachment trial. It has to happen that way.
All eyes are on Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to see whether he will support conviction, something he has suggested he would be open to.
With regard to impeachment issues, we're going to be addressing that in great depth here, beginning shortly. We're going to be sworn in. There are going to be 2 votes, one on the proposal by Senator Paul.
Once senators are sworn in, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky forces a vote on its constitutionality in an attempt to stop impeachment from moving forward.
This proceeding, which would try a private citizen and not a president, a vice president, or civil officer, violates the Constitution and is not in order.
If senators want this issue debated, it can and will be argued during the trial. Therefore, I move to table the point of order, and I ask for the yeas and nays.
As the votes are being counted, only 5 Republicans break with party ranks. Senator Mitch McConnell is not one of them.
Mr. McConnell.
No. Senator Paul's maneuver is tabled, but the junior Kentucky senator has made his point.
The most important takeaway from the issue is they don't have the votes to convict. We had 45 Republican senators say that the whole charade is unconstitutional. So what does that mean? It means that impeachment, the trial, is dead on arrival.
A cold front blows into D.C. over the weekend. Trump changes his legal team, and opposing sides of the Republican Party continue to take aim at one another.
The president has split with his legal team, reportedly because he wanted them to focus on his claim that the election was stolen.
This is a time to choose. It's a time to choose what we're going to be. Let's take a look at the last 4 years, how far we have come in a bad way, how backwards looking we are, how much we peddle darkness and division. And that's not the party I ever signed up for, and I think most Republicans didn't sign up for that. We've lost our moral authority, and we need to regain it as a party.
At the Capitol, the remains of fallen officer Brian Sicknick, who died from wounds sustained in the January 6th attack, are brought in to lie in honor in the rotunda on Tuesday. Lawmakers gather to pay their respects.
May Officer Sicknick's sacrifice prompt us to ensure that this nation, conceived in liberty, will have a new birth of freedom. Grant that our eternal vigilance will keep this government of the people, by the people, and for the people safe and secure.
Here we are exactly 4 weeks since the riot took place, and today was the departure ceremony for the ashes in memory of Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. They were all still hurting. The Capitol Police are a force of police that right now is wounded psychologically and physically. It sets a tone of solemnity and coming together, but in today's polarized political environment, that sense of coming together will only last an hour or two. It is now a story about freshman Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and her strident QAnon conspiracy-filled views. That is at one end of the Republican Party, where at the other end there's Liz Cheney standing up for a more traditional conservative views that her father as vice president and George W. Bush embodied earlier this century. The two of them are now facing challenges from within the House Republican Conference, and it's all the fallout from impeachment. Liz Cheney was one of just 10 Republicans to vote for impeachment in the House. Marjorie Taylor Greene has emerged as one of Trump's newest favorite allies. Senator, do you have any thoughts on what the House should do about Liz Cheney?
After a week of damaging revelations about her extreme views, the freshman representative is headed to face her own party. Meanwhile, Democrats plan a floor vote to strip Greene of her committee assignments. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell calls Greene's rhetoric a cancer in the party.
I think it's a rabbit hole we do not want to go down to start basically impeaching members of Congress for things that happened before their voters chose them.
At a late afternoon caucus meeting, Greene apologizes to colleagues, and no action is taken.
I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right, I don't even know what it is. Any from the shootings, she said she knew nothing about lasers, or all the different things that have been brought up about her.
But in a blow to the Trump wing of the party, members vote to keep Cheney in her leadership position.
We're not going to be in a situation where people can pick off any member of leadership.
Democrats aren't impressed, and the following day, a floor vote is held to remove Greene from the committees.
This is an AR-15 in the hands of Ms. Greene.
This is about whether it is acceptable to cheer on and encourage an insurrection against our basic democratic process.
What you need to know about me is I'm a very regular American. I also want to tell you 9/11 absolutely happened.
Republicans protest, but the House votes to eject Greene from both congressional panels. 11 Republicans cross the aisle to support the move.
The resolution is adopted.
As GOP infighting continues to dominate the airwaves, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tries to bring focus back to impeachment.
Why bother? Why bother? Ask our founders, why bother? Ask those who wrote the Constitution. Ask Abraham Lincoln. Ask anyone who cares about our democracy why we are bothering. You cannot go forward until you have justice. And we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be a Senate of courage or cowardice.
In their final action before turning to the trial, Democrats in the Senate approved the budget bill just before dawn on Friday morning, paving the way to pass Biden's ambitious stimulus package.
The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative.
With a few days to go until the second impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump, the former president declines to appear as a witness, but he continues to sow division.
Record number of Republicans voted for President Trump. Do you want to know why? It's because they loved his policies. The party is his. It doesn't belong to anybody else.
Division between Republicans on the future of the party. Division within the Senate on the constitutionality of the trial. Division between lawmakers on the consequences of inciting an attack on the Capitol that left 5 dead and horrified a nation. Judgment will come in the Senate in the days to come.